Hello everyone, here we are for part 4. And in this part 4 we're going to do some cool stuff actually. We're going to look at scripts, we're going to look at this concept of friends that I was mentioning to you before, and we're going to look at function visibility. So this kind of brings us more into the context of thinking about our code on an actual blockchain deployed by several accounts. So we're moving into that territory now. So let's create a new project. So actually move new, and we're going to call this move4. And we're going to cd into move4, and we have our usual project setup here. So as you can see, we have empty sources, move toml here. Cool. So in our empty sources, we're going to create a new file. And we're going to call this file, similarly to our last one, company.move. So we're creating this weird sort of concept that I made up for this tutorial series called company on-chain, this on-chain company. One might say, well, that's just a DAO. Sure, for the purposes of this tutorial, we'll just call it a company. So we've got this module, which is going to be published by 0x42, and the module is called company, and here is our code. So first of all, so actually what I'm going to do is copy over all of the code from our last tutorial. That would be into cd and move 3. So this was our last one. Actually, let's just open up our code editor, and we just want to open up this and just copy all of this over to here. So all the exact same code that we're dealing with. One thing I'm going to do though is just delete all of our unit tests. Cool, so now it's just the module code. So this is all the exact same code that we were dealing with before. So we're going to add some more functionality to this. First of all, we're going to add a new struct. And this struct is going to be called info. And this info is going to have two fields, company name, and that's going to be a vector of U8 because that's our string information, and owns, and that's going to be a vector of U8. Okay, so basically what we want to use this struct for is to get and set some information about this company module. So first of all, let's make the disable code. First of all, let's write the get method for getting the info. So it's going to be a public fun, and it's going to be called get info, and it's not going to take anything in, and it's going to return the struct info. And what we're going to do is just do something silly here, where we just get this variable called let info, and it's going to be an info struct, and it's going to say company name is going to be called the company because that's the best name for any company, and then owns no other companies, let's just say. And we're just going to return info, right? So that's pretty simple. We just basically every time we say get info, it's just going to create this variable, hard-coded, and just return it. Okay, cool. Well, you might be wondering, that's sort of weird. Why are we doing that? Well, let's say that this company on-chain has the ability to own other companies, right? Because it says owns, or yeah, let's say that we want this kind of functionality on chain. So how might we do that? Well, let's say that there is a, and I'm deliberately sort of using these free concepts as opposed to, you know, coins and NFTs, so that we can just explore the language in a little bit more of a creative kind of free form way, rather than, you know, thinking about NFTs, fungible tokens. We're just kind of using our imagination here to invent a little world, a little scenario where on chain we want these company modules basically. So let's say we're going to add this sister module, actually not sister module, sister company. Very much like how in the real world we have companies that own sister companies. On chain we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to have this module which is going to be also published by 0x42, and it's going to be called sister company, and we're going to use this keyword here, friend, 0x42. Now my syntax highlighter doesn't actually show that it's a keyword, but that's because I actually made the Vim script to highlight move code. There wasn't one that existed, so I actually made one and published it, and I actually haven't updated it to include friend as a keyword. So if you see that, you can PR to my GitHub repo where you will see move.vim, the Vim script for the syntax highlighting, but I'll probably get around to it at some point. Okay, so basically we have this thing called friend 0x42 company. So basically it's saying that look at this account 0x42 and then look at the module code company, and that company code is going to be called a friend to this sister company. So if it's a friend, we can do this. Whoops, if I spell friend right. Cool, so what did I do here? I said that this is a public friend function, which means that any modules that are declared as friends for this module can actually call this function. So here we can get modules talking to other modules by saying that, hey, this is a friend, and if this has the public friend keywords before the function keyword, before the fun, then it allows the friend to actually call this. So that's pretty cool. So let's try it. So inside get info that we made, let's do this. Let sister company name. Now, if you remember, I'm in this function, I'm returning sister company as a string, right? Which is obviously a vector of U8s. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a variable called let sister company name, and now I'm actually going to call that function 0x42 first of all, and then we get the sister company module inside 0x42, and then we can actually call any function which we're allowed to, in this case, get company name. So again, if I go back to the sister company module, we can see this get company name has public friend. So this means that because this is the friend company on 0x42 company, that's the module we're in, we can call this function, which is pretty cool. So inside we have sister company name returns from this method. So let's say we want to say that this. So basically the field of owns is going to have whatever this method returns on the sister company module. So that's pretty good. So let's write a unit test to try that out. Actually, no, we're not going to write a unit test. We're going to do something. We're going to write a script. So a script basically is any type of code that is not a module. So I'm just going to call this script do stuff.move. And to create a script, notice I just call it still.move, and we just say script, and then we're going to go use 0x42, 0x42 company. So that imports the module code at that address, published by that address. And then we're actually going to just write a function inside the script called do stuff. And then we're going to do company. And what method are we going to call on company? Get info. Right. Get info. And get info is going to return something. So it's going to return some info. So let's just say let info equals this. And then let's just try and build this and see if this works. So just the company, get company name inside. So let's try, go back, see what's the problem here. I put a full colon instead of the semicolon. So type info does not have the ability drop. And again, that's the same thing, because here we're returning it and then we're not doing anything with it. We're not doing anything with this resource. So we need to explicitly say that this resource can be dropped. And if this still is not really clear, because we haven't really got into this in depth, don't worry about it. But basically we just need to say that has dropped, because we're just returning it in this script, and we're not putting it into an account. We're not doing anything. So we have to explicitly say that it's okay for this struct to be dealt with in this way. This is the safety features of Move. Cool. So now it's just saying you need to do something with this. So let's do use Cool. And then this tutorial we've covered visibility, friends, and scripts. So I'll see you at the next tutorial.